I'm your host, Elizabeth, and this is For the Talkers. Hello, talkers. I'm your host, Elizabeth, and thank you for joining me in the first interview episode of our confidence season. You guys, blown away, gagged, floored, all of the things. Meryl today is who I interview, and she's nothing short of amazing. She was bubbly and positive and confident. Okay, she was the perfect person to have as our intro to this season, right? And sorry, I'm doing a video and I'm just staring at myself. It's not great. Today's episode does have a few cuss words, so I'm just putting that right at the beginning. And by cuss, I mean like just light cussing, so I'm not putting it as explicit. But if you do listen with young ears, you've been warned. Meryl does also say the phrase maxi pad multiple times, and it has me rolling on the floor laughing. So please listen to hear her story about that. And also watch all the way till the end. You can watch this episode right in Spotify. So I highly recommend doing that. Meryl has this super cool pair of new sunglasses she got. So please watch till the very end to see those. They're so fun. But I got a little off rails there. Me and Meryl are talking about confidence today, and Meryl is a comedian. So we talked about, confidence as a woman in that kind of scene, but we also just talked about confidence in general. And it was like a really inspiring, wholesome conversation that I know you guys are going to be laughing for. And then at the end, you'll go, well, that was really sweet. And I learned something, and I'm like feeling, energized. I feel like Meryl is a very energizing person. And my main kind of takeaway, and main is dramatic because there were a lot of really good things that we talked about, but we really highlighted that confident people are supportive. And I feel like that was just something that like kept coming up multiple times and really stuck out to me. And just period is all I have to say. So true. And I love how Meryl brought this up. So when I was editing this episode, I heard Meryl say sassy. And I've been saying sassy like the past week. Everything I'm like, oh, so sassy. So sassy. So Meryl, you got me saying sassy. And for everyone in my close circle, they're going to be upset because I don't know if it's my ADHD or what, but you can ask my best friend Kenzie Jones. She will attest to this. I have always had like a word or a phrase that's just on repeat for probably a couple months, and then it changes. So right now it's sassy, thanks to Miss Meryl. And let me tell you a little bit about her, and then we're just going to jump right in because we have a little bit of a longer episode today because we couldn't stop talking. Like, she was so perfect and fabulous. And I said, I can't be done talking to you yet. Okay. Meryl is the co-host and co-producer of The Campfire Shit Show, a weekly comedy podcast with her podcast partner, Bo Hufford, and a founder of Pre-Canceled Apparel. And I'll just plug, I love her podcast. Please go listen. It is so funny, so down to earth. That's the other thing about Meryl. She's not lying. She's not masking. She is Meryl, and it's so refreshing. Okay. She pre-canceled herself before society did, which is hilarious. And she performs around California and beyond as a stand-up comic and is super friendly. So join me in welcoming Miss Meryl. Hello, Meryl.
Hi.
I'm so excited to chat with you today. This is going to be perfect and hopefully hilarious is kind of what I'm going for.
I'm hoping. Let's see. I have some hydration drinks here and coffee, so I'm liquefying myself to be hilarious. So we're good.
Perfect. Off to a great start is what I'm hearing. All right. Well, I will start with my happy, funny, sad. So the other night, me and my partner got invited to a witch soiree. And so that was pretty fun.
What? Like a real one or a...
Just someone, throwing a party at their house, but that was kind of the theme. And we like painted tote bags and had a caramel apple bar, and we're doing like tarot cards. So it was really fun.
Did the tarot reveal anything of note that you can share?
Well, I was late, big surprise. So I didn't do a reading, but
Oh,
I gotta
okay,
I
okay.
gotta sit and watch some. So,
Oh, that's
yes, nothing
cool. And
crazy.
wait, I
Yeah.
forget. Do you say what location you're in,
I'm
or
in
like
Utah, like Salt Lake City.
okay, which has become like so popular now, of course, because of all the reality shows. I'm sure.
Yeah, did you watch The Secret Lives of Mormon Housewives?
So much. It was one of those like I don't think I'm going to do this, and then somehow I looked and I was on episode 4, and
You're already in it. Well, I'm pretty sure they're doing a season 2, right?
yeah, yeah. Which I'm like, how could they not? That show had such good success, and just all of their hair alone deserves
Yep.
a whole season.
Yep. Well, in the show they talked about the billboard that's like the Jay-Z hair,
Uh huh.
right? Oh yeah, I drive past that to go to school every
Really?
day. Yes, and it seriously looked like it says Jizz hair. Like that's what it
Oh my
looks
god.
like.
I was gonna
But
ask
they
if you
changed
ever
it.
see. Oh, they okay, good. I was gonna say they need to. Do you ever see them out and about, or like?
I don't, but I'm sure other people do.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, and like I could go to, Desi's hair salon if I really wanted hair
yeah, yeah.
extensions, right? But
It's so funny because I feel like how they all are peddling their other businesses, which of course, like, good for them. Why not? But one of them is like gummy vitamins, and
yep.
it's a lot.
Yep. Yep. They all, well, that's just, none of them have real jobs. And it's weird too
Yeah.
because I was watching it and I'm 22, but my partner's 24. And I'm like, they're your age. This is weird. Like, why do they act like this?
I know, and they all have like 3 kids from previous marriages, or it's just a lot. And I kind of, I'm not gonna lie, the evil one, or whatever on this one, the villain Whitney,
Yeah.
like her
Yes.
dances on TikTok are really they deserve its own season with like her dancing because her baby got like cleared of the flu or something. It was just
Yeah. It's like it has RSV in the hospital.
yeah, which is so like that very serious, but I like that she's dancing to all of it.
Yep. Yep. She just said, I'm here to be silly and make my money. So,
Well, out here in LA, I feel like I can relate to you in the way that I get invited to a lot of like witch parties, but I feel like they seriously are more like coven activities, and sometimes I'm like, what am I getting myself into? So
well, I'll have to go to one of those. It's a little more
yes.
literal witchy. That's cool.
Yeah. I just had a friend pull a tarot card on me, and all it kept on saying was that I need to fix my gut health. And I was like, oh my God, this is like weirdly accurate. And she kept on being like, let's see about your love life. And like everything turned back to like gut health, which is crazy.
That is so funny. So random too. Okay, well, my funny came from that party because I just got my nails done, right?
Ooh, yes.
And the girl sitting there was like, "Oh my god, I love your nails." And then she's like, "Wait, I think I've seen them before." She literally had a screenshot of my nails from my nail tech, but we live like an hour apart. So she doesn't know my nail tech. She just follows her on Instagram
Oh
and
my
just screenshot my nails.
damn, you made it to the Instagram though. I feel like that's like when people like that always post like hair or nails. I feel like they've done a good job.
Yes, yeah.
That's
So
so funny.
I just couldn't stop laughing. I was like, "What are the chances?" Like, that's so random. Yeah.
Whoa.
So that was killing me.
I love that.
And then my sad is kind of silly, but it makes me so sad and mad that iPhones, when they put out a new iPhone, all the other iPhones suck now. And it's like, I have a brand new phone. It should work just fine. But I feel like every time they come out with a new one, they want you to buy it. So then, like,
Yes.
all the older versions start sucking. And it's like, it makes me so mad.
What is it? Like, what's the biggest glitch that you're getting?
It's like, specifically with pictures, which is really unfortunate because I'm trying to like do a lot of vlogs and stuff right now. It just like you take 2 pictures and then it just freezes and you can't turn the phone off. You can't like do anything. You just have to wait.
Yeah. See, I think I think you're right. I think we need to almost when like the iPhone 15 is out now, all need to go back to iPhone 8, and like we need to tell Apple what's up. It needs
Literally.
to be like a coup basically where we all set the tone. Yeah.
Well, I'm
Same thing
just
as
like,
oh yeah.
it's just like, I'm not going to buy a new phone till my phone is actually dead. So
Yeah.
stop. Like, yeah.
I'm almost nearing the like, which feels Amish now, but almost to have a flip phone. I feel like that would be a power move, and people
Yes.
do that. I know a lot of people that have like a second phone that just is basically emergency numbers, and they take it out. And that feels like I feel like that's the way to go.
Yeah. I love that. I'm going to do that. And like,
Yeah,
flip phones are like so sassy.
they
They're so,
are.
they're like a personality trait in themselves,
They
right?
really are. Well, I'm older than you, but and I think I'm not gonna, we won't go into how much, but I feel like your age of people is making all the things cool that like we felt geeky about, and so it's
Yes.
so cool for me to be like, okay, I've stayed with this stuff, but like now I'm like, okay, but the young cool people are telling me it's good, so it's okay.
Yep. Yep.
Except the only thing I can't do is the like higher. I still wear ankle socks like a geek, but I'm okay with like the white ankle socks. So
I still do ankle socks
you
too.
do?
Every
Okay.
time I try and do like the Nike kind of tall socks, and I'm just like, it looks weird.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, good. I feel better now because
We're on the same wavelength there.
yeah. That's part of confidence, which is like just wearing the ankle socks and
Yep.
being okay with it.
Yep. Totally. Okay, well, those are mine. So I want to hear your
These are
happy,
so
funny, sad
good. Yours
moment.
were really good. I felt like yours all were somehow under happy still,
Yeah.
even the sad ones.
Like, what am I going to say for my sad? Oh, I'm so depressed today. Like, that's not funny.
Yeah, no, we don't want that. But I think all of us can relate is that Apple and iPhone somehow make us sad every day, but
Yep.
still keep
Yep.
us connected.
Right.
Well, okay, my happy is that my like so I live in on the West Coast in Los Angeles, and I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Pennsylvania, and I feel like half of my heart is basically on the East Coast because I have a lot of my like really long time good friends, and I don't get to see them a lot. We try every now and then, but this weekend my one of my best friends since like second grade is here visiting in Los Angeles, my friend Michelle,
Aw.
and we originally became best friends in second grade when her mom like pressured her to give me a chance because I was running around outside at recess like barking like a dog, and I was kind of like the weird girl, and then Michelle was like the popular normal girl, and even at second grade, and her mom, Kathy, thank goodness, like convinced Michelle to just kind of give me a chance, and then ever since then we've been like really best friends.
That's sweet.
Cut forward to now, this past weekend I've been taking her all around, and like we just walked around Beverly Hills and did like the whole pretend to shop on Rodeo Drive kind of thing. And so
Yeah.
um I don't know if you feel like this too, but just being connected with like old, or not even old friends, just friends that like still currently know you so well is just like a breath of fresh air.
Yes. Yeah. I have a high school friend that we've just lived like 3, 4 hours away for a while, and, she's married doing her thing, I have my partner doing my thing, so we hadn't really seen each other in a while, but we both go to the same school, and so we've
Oh
been seeing each other, like, once a week, and it's exactly that. It's, like, so refreshing, and it's like, "Yes."
yeah, I feel like it makes it nice.
Yeah, and I told her, I'm like, "Well, my, attendance is gonna be phenomenal this semester because."
Because you'll be there, and it
Yeah,
inspires us, and it helps people like keep going. So I feel like that's, and
yeah,
we'll get into that later too. But I feel like having people that really know you and that is such like a foundation to confidence. I think at least.
yeah, totally.
Okay, my funny. This is so random and so ridiculous, but I see on TikTok. Okay, so like I wear a backpack a lot. It might be geeky too, but I love. I've tried different ways to carry around my laptop in public, like the cool kind of briefcases and like more of the whatever, like the sassy laptop bags. And I wear a Jansport backpack. And the other day, I was walking out of a coffee shop and like thinking, oh my gosh, like I know everyone in my neighborhood, and I was like kind of like bye everyone, and then I turned and my backpack was completely open but with like my maxi pads falling out and my laptop falling out. And it was just, I had a moment of being like, wow, I really like know so many people. And then I turned around, and then the next day I saw a TikTok about the same thing about a guy. This kid was like in eighth grade, but he was saying like when you feel confident and then you realize your backpack is open. And, like it's just one of those things that humbles you very quickly.
When it's like, I've been walking for how long and no one told me and, like, stuff's half falling
Yeah.
out?
I'm like, why am I even like carrying around like four maxi bag? Like, it's just, I'm like, why am I even doing that in the first place? And so it definitely was one of those moments. And then I also clogged the bathroom of that same coffee place a week later, but it's okay. We won't get into that. Um, and
That's for
then
another time.
it's for another time. Yeah, another time. And then I would say sad is, let's see. Oh my gosh, there's not a ton of sad. I had at this point, like a few days ago, I had like the hurricane written down, but I feel like the good part is it's not as bad as we all thought. Like, I mean, it seems like a lot of destruction, but that actually, for me, goes in the happy category because it's not.
Right.
We were all scared.
Yeah.
It seems like obviously with like climate change or whatever, whatever it is, it's the weather seems to be getting tough for a lot of people. So I would say
Yeah.
sad of like there's still a lot of displaced and misplaced people from like the past hurricane and current one and
Yeah.
tornadoes and
Yeah. Well, me and my partner were talking, and I'm like, I would never wanna live in a place where, natural disasters are so common. But it's like at the same time, like, a lot of those people just live there. Like, it's
Yeah,
not necessarily realistic for them to, move to another state just because hurricanes happens every now and then. So
I
it
know.
is sad because it's like, oh, I'm so glad I don't live there. And like, I'm so sorry that, that's your home. Like,
I
you shouldn't
know.
have to leave just because of the weather.
Exactly, and I think we're becoming more and more where it's going to be like just Utah that's okay, that's like not affected because out here in California, earthquakes are obviously our biggest thing, and I've been through like quite a few earthquakes, and like now they're kind of like fun to go through, I think, because they've all been small enough where luckily nothing like terrible has happened here. But
Sure.
there's always talk of like the big one coming, and anytime I'm on an elevator or high up, I'm like, please, like not right now, not for the next
No,
30 seconds. So
not today.
yeah, but I feel like it's becoming more and more like on maps where you're like, okay, this place earthquake, this place tornado, it's snowing in South Africa, like all these weird global things are going on. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely not part of the people that are crazy, like scared about it all the time, but it definitely is tough for people that don't have, it's a lot of people that don't have the means to like pick up and move or.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Very sad. And social media makes these things like different too now, I feel like, because you see so many people's like different stories of what they're
So
going
much.
through.
Yeah, and I think in a good way now, I love, love, love TikTok and because of that, because I feel like we don't have to just listen to what the news is telling us. Like we're seeing a
Yeah.
real firsthand account, and I feel like with Hurricane Milton, there were so many people on TikTok that I'm like, okay, how was the guy on the boat doing? And this girl's still in her high rise. And like, I told my boyfriend, I'm like, I have so many people in my mind right now, and like this woman's horses. So it was like, just worrying about everyone.
Yeah, yeah, that was so sad to see the people that have to just like let their animals try and figure it out kind of a
Yes.
thing.
I almost feel sometimes more empathy for that type of situation than people like I don't have children or anything, but I'm like the thought of letting my horse go, I just would like I feel like I would just keep it in the bedroom with me and
Yeah.
like keep it just I don't know.
Yeah, totally. Okay, well, that's a perfect little intro to today. This season is all about confidence. And I said, I have to get Meryl on this season because that is one confident woman. So, first, I want you to tell me what you think when you see someone else and you go, oh, she's confident or they're confident, or what are they doing? What do they look like? What are they saying? Those kinds of things.
Oh, that's so good. Okay, well I think when I look around, like I almost think like all of my friends I require in my like to be a very good friend and vice versa. I feel like most everyone around me has to have some level of like their own confidence, because like I really, really, it's very important to me to have people around that I know could like be happy for me and that I could be happy for them and that they're and even like I mean I have friends all the time, myself included, that have like meltdowns and I'm friends with a lot of actors and creatives and they have moments of insecurity and um moments of doubting themselves and moments of like failure, but I still feel like within that there's still this level of like inner confidence or just like self-awareness that it is uh, I think it appears differently in a lot of people I meet. Like I'm sure people have said this, you've talked about this before on prior episodes, but like often the loudest person in the room or the most like seemingly confident isn't deep down inside. They're just scared and shaking in their boots just like everyone else. But I think confident can be in the actions of like, are you okay with others around you succeeding, or are you someone that like stays true to your word? I think that builds a lot of confidence when someone like when their actions match their words. That's a sign of confidence. Someone that's able to both like be in the spotlight but then step aside and let others have their moment, I think is like true confidence, instead of someone that's always like
Yeah, yeah, totally. When you're like, it's like that I don't know, not saying, but just yeah, it's like kind of a concept like the worst bully is the most sad, right? Like the people who are
yeah.
like trying to put themselves out there the most and like almost force it, like don't have that true confidence like you're saying. That's so true.
Yes. And to
Yeah.
be able to fail and to like have things not go their way, that is like resilience, and I think resilience then breeds confidence. So I think
Yeah.
people that are out there just like trying and keep going, I think are the confident ones, whereas sometimes it seems like the people on the sidelines like talking shit or they're confident, but it's not like that. This is like,
Yeah.
also, I love this subject. I feel like I could talk for like 18
Yeah.
hours. So you're going to have to like just mute me at some point. But I love
And
this
we're
subject.
moving on.
Exactly. Yeah. But I like, yeah, I think and it's one of those, the same thing as like how wealth, they say like wealth is quiet, and like luxury whispers or whatever the
Yeah.
saying is. And I feel like the most confident people are able to, like, if they need to kind of step up and be loud, but then they can also, they have some type of like inner practice that grounds themselves.
Yeah, yeah. When I really like how you said too, like they're able to let other people also have that spotlight, right?
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
also able to like go, okay, I have confidence. That means other people probably do too, right? Like we can
Yes.
all kind of share this. Yeah,
This is
totally.
like so stupid. I mean, I love this too, but I'm a Leo, like astrologically.
Yeah,
Of
me
course.
too.
You are. Oh my,
Yes.
yes. Oh my God, Leo. Like we just
Yes.
get each other, and that's the thing
Yes.
too. Like during Leo season, you see a lot of. It seems ridiculous and very like arrogant to some people, but us Leos know it's confidence because we're able to be like kings and queens, rise up, and
No,
so yeah, yeah, yeah. See, so we're able. Like, I think, of course, like some people, if you don't, people don't believe in astrology, that's more than okay, and I get it. But like, I think Leo season is a prime example because you see people that are able to be like obsessed with other people too, because we just get it, and it like
yeah.
it takes other people to be like, okay, I'm gonna shine, but I like completely believe in your shininess too.
Right, right.
You
Like
know?
really having that ability to say like your successes don't take away from mine. Your
Yeah.
confidence doesn't mean that I'm not confident. There's
Yes.
there's enough to go around for everyone.
Yes, yes. And I feel like times of, because there's definitely times of like insecurity where like I write for a lifestyle publication called the LA Girl. And so a lot of times I'll have to like attend events by myself. And I'm like, and people are always like, I'm so amazed that you can do that. And I'm like, don't get it twisted. Like I totally feel the like normal anxiety and like awkwardness and insecurity that people would feel. It's just that like feeling of not being so scared of that feeling, or just like like being able to embrace it and like stand there by myself at a party where I know no one, and like not run away, or and that's like a learned behavior, and
Yeah.
something you train yourself. And then I think that just it comes across to other people as so confident, but it's like you still feel the feelings of insecurity, you just keep like you're just confident enough to like stand in it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Totally. So you kind of said that it's learned. Would you say that like you've always kind of had more confidence, or is it something you've had to kind of work on?
Oh my God, I love this. Okay, I feel like it's definitely one of those nature nurture things
Yeah,
where I could completely see if it's like someone's inherent personality to be confident, but they have parents that don't believe in them, or like society makes them feel that not that. I can see how it can get like hammered down in people. I'm an only child, and I feel like my parents raised like just embraced me too much almost, where
sure.
like they were just, I mean, they were beyond supportive, but I think at home I had a very like warm, nurturing environment that made me really confident in my own identity, and just my own like personality. So I think in that way it was supported, but I think it's just like my soul has always been a confident, like just self-assured one. But I think that's because being an only child, I've had like so much time to get to know myself and to like really be sure of who I am. So that just seems like a little confident.
Yeah, yeah, totally. So, would you say that they're, in your career, figuring out how to be a comedian, put yourself out there, be in shows, would you say that there's anything that you did and it kind of went like, now I feel like being confident, like no problem, I've got that.
Yeah, definitely. I think, let me make sure I phrase this right. Like, I think when I started comedy, it was a lot more of the like, hello everyone, like I'm on stage and I'm funny. And it was more of like the ego getting feedback and more of that like game. But
Sure.
honestly, some people that I met along the way that are like way seasoned, like, comedians that have been doing it for a long time, that are like beyond, like I could hope to be like 5% of their success and like geniusness and stuff. They really told me that it's more about the writing, and like stop focusing on what shows you're on, or who you're performing with, and get really clear on like the actual skills that you're doing. And I feel like I see that a lot with athletes too, where it's like, of course, baseball players and like basketball players have like that bravado that they're out there, but really they're spending so much time on their own technique and like their own practice that I think we don't see that behind the scenes. I think with me, like getting really practicing more on just like the little nitty gritty of what I'm doing helps me kind of not be so like peacocky, it
Sure.
helps me be more like normal and more relatable, I think. And so, and also like I have those moments too when if I'm performing comedy halfway through my set, sometimes I can hear myself and I'm just like, shut up, you quirky bitch. Like, I'm just like, no one cares, no one cares. So it's like, I feel like I could already think what other people are like thinking negatively. And I'm like, I know that about myself. I just
Yeah.
like try to quiet that down.
Yep.
We all know what like people we're going to get roasted on or like our negative thoughts. We don't need other people to tell us, even though
Yeah.
the internet loves to tell us. But yeah, I think like what has helped my confidence really truly is like honing the skills and practicing rather than just like trying to get ego boost or like get Instagram likes or anything.
Sure. Yeah. That's so funny that you brought that up because every time I record an episode, I'm like, shut up. This is terrible. Delete the show from every platform.
Yes, yes, yes. And it's like, and I could see like it's something, especially with podcasting or comedy, it's like it's already like sometimes the negative thoughts will be like it's oversaturated, who cares?
Yep.
You're not, it's easier for some people. This isn't going anywhere, it doesn't matter. But like it really does matter. And I think I know how inspired I am by people like living their own artistic life and doing it. And I feel like we underestimate how much it all helps us together when we're doing like what speaks to us.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Like when you see other people living kind of true to themselves, it like makes you want to do it too, kind of.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah.
about like musicians too, and it's like if these musicians didn't have the confidence or really just to follow their calling, we wouldn't have some of the best people that we love that like I feel like I always look at musicians too where it's like, oh, if this person didn't have the confidence to go and try to put out this album, like our whole life would be different. And it's just
Really though, yeah. Well, yeah, I think specifically in those creative settings, right? Like there's
yeah.
totally like an energy and like a feel to creative spaces that when you kind of contribute, it can help others too.
Yes, yes.
I love it. That's
Me
so
too. I love
perfect.
this too.
Okay, so that's my favorite question. And I had a really funny answer to this when I did this season introduction with my partner. And she had more of a serious, so take it in whatever direction you want. But think back to when you were young, like very small child, and you saw someone you thought, oh, that's what having confidence is. And then now, what you're like, okay, that's what really having confidence is.
Oh, that's a really good one. Okay, I would say let me think about who I really did. I guess I can't use an animal because like one time there was you might be too young, but there was like a movie about a dog called Benji the Hunted, and I focus I don't know, there was a Disney movie about a dog, but there was a mountain lion in it that was really confident. The mountain lion was like I would pretend like I was the mountain lion on the rock, and I'd be like would make mountain lion noises. My parents were probably like really worried because I like wasn't acting like a child. I was just pretending I was like a cougar. But no, I think in real life, maybe do you know who Paula Abdul is?
Of course.
You do? Okay. So like I loved and I think actually Paula probably was really confident, but back in the day she was like the best dancer. I loved her little like spunky personality and I felt like I loved her style. I thought she was so cute and she wasn't like the typical Hollywood person, she's like little and compact and stuff. I think she's so cute.
Yeah, yeah. Not
So
blonde.
not blonde. Exactly, exactly. And like just dancing and really she was one of the first women that I saw that was like a lead person on her own. She wasn't part of a girl group when I saw her. She was like Paula Abdul. So, like she had her own personality and her own kind of mystique about her. So I felt like between Paula Abdul and the Mountain Lion are probably the two people.
You created this idea of what confidence was.
Yeah, yeah. And like I don't think that I haven't really seen her have a fall from grace. She's still even in her 60s,
She's
she still
rocking.
seems like pretty confident. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was funny that you asked if I knew her because I totally saw her on, like, Instagram or something the other day, and I was like, "Paula's still relevant? She's
Yeah,
just, like
I
she's
know. And
just
she's
doing
so
stuff,
cute.
man." Yeah.
And I think she's like in her early 60s and she just is on tour with Boys to Men and like I love it.
That's
And
amazing.
she to me has like seems like someone that has had confidence because she's had ups and downs in her career, but she hasn't completely like Botox the hell out of her face too much. Like she still looks like she wants to be herself, and I think to me that's like some
Yeah.
semblance of like showing that she's not trying to like escape her body or escape who she is or anything, you
Yeah.
know?
Totally. Confidence, man. It's so tricky. And I like how you kind of said at the beginning, being fully confident isn't never having those like insecure moments. Like you said with
Yes.
your friends, right? It's like, it's not that, every single day you never think about what other people think about you or those kinds of things. But it's kind of this overall thing. What else would you say has helped you become confident, right? We talked about like practicing and getting more confident in that way, but are there any other things you can think of that it's like, oh, that really helped me be more confident?
Yeah, definitely. Also, what you were saying before is I thought that was so funny. About a few months ago, I was just having one of those weeks where, like, I had gone to a birthday party and everyone was sitting around and they were all saying like what they were. It was pretty much like the happy, without the sad. It was like
Yeah.
the happy thing. But like every single person's wins were so big. Like literally, one of the people was a background singer for Miley Cyrus. Someone had just booked like
Whoa.
a huge commercial. I know, and then it got to me, and then I was like, okay, like I definitely have like a people would say like a a life that's like I do have successes, but I didn't have anything at that time like tangible, like there wasn't like a big brand that I could say or anything. I wasn't like at Madison Square Garden, and so I said something, something, and then I went home and like I cried, and so for the first time ever, like that's so not like me. Usually I'm like not like that, and then the next day I told my friends, some of my other friends about it, and like I started crying to them, and I'm just like I drive a Nissan and I'm a loser. And just the way that they like so quickly responded and they were like, you're nuts. You're like, who cares if you drive a Nissan? Like you're doing like the way that they kind of rushed to like save me in that moment is such a like the sweetest thing ever. And I feel like I hope for everyone that they have like almost getting like teary eyed, but like I hope that
Yeah.
everyone has at least like one friend or one family member that can like smack them out of those moments because like the way that they so quickly like almost like like it was so meaningful to me and like that alone was like okay, that is a win to have. Like singing with Miley Cyrus is nice, but like having a few friends that like just think it's like nuts if you feel not confident and it can reflect back to you like your best sides. I think that is like such
Yeah.
a wonderful thing. So anyway, part of that confidence is obviously having people around that like mirror what your dreams are and like what you're trying to do in life and what you are doing. I think is like a really big confidence booster. I'm kind of like off of my game now. I need to get back on like ridding yourself of toxicity as much as you can. And
Mm.
like for me, I feel way, way, way more confident when I'm eating right and if I'm eating more vegetables and like juicing in the morning and just taking care of myself. That just naturally, builds confidence because you're doing something to just make yourself feel better. And like, it sounds so stupid, but just little things like drinking enough water and going for walks. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like 20 times more confident when I'm eating blueberries.
Yeah.
So right now I'm off of it, but
Well, I say all the time, I'm like, I need like an outward expression of how I feel on the inside. It's like if you want to
yeah.
feel confident on the inside, yeah, you have to be doing outward like actions and things that are going to build that and reflect that because you can feel so confident. But yeah, if you're not like taking care of yourself, taking care of others, kind of doing those things, it might not show up as confidence.
Yes, definitely. And I think like preening yourself, whatever that means to you, is just sometimes when I'm not confident on the inside, as much as I can, making my environment like wearing bright colors, or on days that I don't feel confident, I don't wear like black and hide. I like put on a nice red shirt, or like I try to brush my hair, stuff that
Sure.
will make me feel extra confident. I think sometimes self care and beauty get like mixed up because it seems like we're trying to do beauty things to make us feel like relevant, as females or whatever, identifying females, it's like it's a lot. But I think for me it's more like let me try to make myself like just like brushing my hair and doing my hair nice, it makes me feel like more sane and kind of
Yeah.
connected to the world.
Yeah, that is so true, and it's so hard because I feel like it's such a fine line of,
Yeah.
like, I'm taking care of myself and I'm, like, altering myself almost, right? So that's an interesting point.
Yeah. And having to also have grace for other people as well, and realize like confidence can be in someone that's like a grocery store worker. Like it doesn't really matter. Like I think outside identity things isn't really what like should drive confidence. And I think sometimes people that are like CEOs, or they judge other people as like not having a right to be more confident. But I'm like, no, someone could work part-time at like a convenience store, and like in if that's their life and if they're like aligned with that, I think that is like so much cooler than someone trying to like have 10 cars in Dubai and like fake their way basically.
Sure, yeah, yeah, that authenticity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like living the trying to figure out, and it can change and it can shift, but I feel like people like real action steps of like, okay, what do I actually want and need? And maybe that's like more outdoors time, or maybe it is making more money, and like being aligned with that, I think is a natural confidence serum.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I like what you said, like, it can change, right? Because, like, what made me feel confident when I was 18, doesn't do that anymore, right? Like, those
Yeah.
things can kind of change, and I think allowing yourself to do that. My last episode was with a intuitive stylist kind of
Ooh.
coach. She was really, really cool, and we kinda talked about that, how, like, you change and you grow, and we have to like allow ourselves to do that. So specifically, the way we dress, that's going to change what feels good and what shows, yes, we're confident in what we're wearing and what we're doing. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I just think that's great. Like let yourself grow.
Exactly, and change. I'll have to listen to that episode because I feel like I always love, like, I actually feel more confident in kind of like baggy pants, but like in a way that's kind of more put together. And like, ever since I was little, like I don't wear high heels. I like, I had to wear sneakers even to like all the dances and everything. So,
Yeah.
but doing it in a way, I think to some people that comes across confident because you're like doing something different than the norm, but really it's just embracing like what you can't do, like
Yeah,
your limits.
again, we're being authentic, right? And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. It's like even if it's not, the normal or the fit into the stereotype of what a confident person looks like or does, if you're being authentic to yourself, that's gonna show up as confidence.
Yes.
I
Yep.
love it. That's
Me
so
too.
perfect.
And you probably know this. I mean, you're doing a great job of me blabbing too, but I feel like something that comes across to people as confident, it's like this is like a little hack where sometimes I'll go to parties or dinners and I'll just try and like listen to people, and it's so funny how people, I'm doing it now, but how people just want to blab about themselves and then at the end of the party they'll message me and they're like, oh my god, like I love you, let's get together
Yeah.
again soon. And and I'm like, all I have to do is just sit there and like truly be interested, not pretend. But like I think too, if I'm having a day where I'm not the most secure, I take myself out of the equation as much as I can, and I'll call a friend and be like, just ask them about, and like a lot of times I'll have to just write down like what is going on with my friends so I don't forget, where I'm like, okay,
Love it.
Iris has a job interview, or like Lillian just got into an improv team, or like, and then I almost follow up and just like a business item check with them instead of
Yeah.
like, instead of being like so self-obsessed. So I think that helps.
Yeah, totally. I think those are all really true things, and that's totally why I love this podcast. Because 'cause I'm like, who doesn't love to talk specifically about themselves, right? We love to do that. We're all
Yes.
talkers, right?
Exactly. And then I'm going to end this episode being like, I love her. This was the best ever. And like, all I did was just like, everywhere. But
But that's,
yeah,
like, connecting, and that's, a way to, like, just share, and it doesn't even matter if you're, like, talking about something, like, way important or way silly, like, just being
yeah,
able to talk to other people feels good, and it's fun to listen to.
it is fun to listen to. And then the last thing I was just going to say really quickly too is
Yeah.
like, I'm a big fan of like introducing new stimuli to your life and just shaking things up. And that doesn't have to mean like a big trip to Europe. It could also mean, going to museums or libraries. And like, I know we all know that stuff should be good, but like, it really does make a difference. And I think
Yeah.
it builds confidence to have more knowledge outside of just your like own bubble. So I feel
Mhm.
like for me, like that's been a big confidence booster in the past couple of years of just like writing down my dream self, and then like working backwards, and then being like, okay, like my dream self would go to see a Broadway play like once a year, so just
Sure.
like plugging that in. So
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. I've seen that's kind of popular on using AI like ChatGPT to do that. You write out, your future goals and this and that, and then you can have it, say, what can I do to get to that point?
Oh,
Or like, tell
cool.
me about a day in a life for this person. So you kind of get to like see that vision. But I love that, like working backwards. It's like, I know my end goal is this. And like you're saying, a confident stand-up comedian would probably go check out other comedians
Yeah.
or
Yep.
go check out, like you're saying, like a museum, like kind of diversifying your knowledge and experiences.
You just like totally synthesize that so well. You like your the articulateness is off the charts. That's so good.
Thank you. Well, I have to say, I have 2 more interviews after this, and I'm so nervous. So hopefully I don't, you know, get all my well spoken out in this episode. And then
Yeah.
in the
No,
next
I
2,
think
I'm
you're
like,
gearing up. No,
what?
no, no. I feel like you're getting greased up. You're gonna do awesome.
Well, thank you for being my, free
I'm your
other. And
fluffer. Yeah.
exactly. I was like, I know there's a word for that. I can't remember.
uh,
I was gonna say too, that's so funny that you brought up like kind of changing your stimuli. This is kind of like random, but I changed out the water bottle that I'm using because
oh my
I
gosh.
I drink so much more water because it like doesn't blend into the background, right? It's like, oh yeah, my cute new water bottle. Oh, I'm gonna have a huge drink from it, right?
Yeah. Is it by you? Do you have it? Can you show me it or you don't? Oh, that's beautiful.
Isn't it kind of fun?
It's not a Stanley, is it? Or is
No,
that
I don't even know what brand it is. Off brand, just
a see,
yeah,
see, that's confidence. Confidence is not having to get like $1 million Stanley Cup. That's
right. Oh my god,
and
that's
that's
so
and
true.
stuff like that where it's just a little something can make you just like I don't know, it puts a pep in your step and I think
Yeah,
like,
totally. It's perfect. Well, I want you to think of one actionable thing that all the talkers listening can do to build their confidence.
oh, okay.
Small or big,
I love
anything.
that. Okay. I would say one actionable thing is to spend like an hour this month, even just 1 hour this month, writing down 3 things that you're totally afraid of doing, like beyond afraid that like scares the shit out of you. And then take a baby step towards that. And so you don't
I
have to
love
even
it.
do it. You don't even have to do it this month, but like the very first thing, whether it's calling the tax bureau or like, reaching out to someone that you may have like wronged in the past or like the very, very, very first little step. And
I
that's it.
love it. Well, we talk about, I swear to God, I bring it up like every single episode, but 1%, right? So, like,
Yeah.
yeah, if
Yep.
that's your end goal, just what's something 1% that you could do to get you towards that goal? Or,
To teeny weeny,
yep,
exactly. Because like
yep,
a lot of times I'll even stop myself. Like if I have a big project and there's like 8 parts of it, if I complete the first part really fast and I want to go to, I'm like, nope, like
yep.
slow and like yeah. So like, and I think these things happen. That's how people put out books and put out like albums is like the little tiny steps. And so I think and I'll be doing it along with you guys too.
Yay, that's
Yay.
perfect. I love it. Okay, I'll have to like put something somewhere that people can respond if they do it. That'll be fun to see.
Yeah, yeah. And
Awesome.
I feel like rejection and hopefully we all sometimes maybe those things will reject us and that's totally cool because we're confident.
Sure.
Who cares? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, who cares?
Totally. Well, again, I just have to reiterate, thank you for being on this season of Confidence. For everyone listening, me and Meryl kind of matched a while ago and we were thinking about doing an episode, and I'm so glad that we kind of waited to get it in this confidence season.
Me too. I know. You're like my favorite pod match. I feel like it's
Oh,
like a dating site for podcasters. I mean,
no,
yes,
literally. When
it
people ask
is.
what it is, I'm like, well, it's like Tinder, but for like podcast hosts and guests,
It
basically.
is. And we were both like, I don't normally do this, but like, yeah, yeah.
Literally. I love it. Okay, well, I like to end with something super silly and light. So I want to know, what's the most fun thing that you've bought recently?
Oh my gosh. Oh, this is not going to surprise you, but
Okay.
a pair of sunglasses, but
Oh,
like these.
hey.
And like I cannot see out of them. They're like terrible actual sunglasses. I can't drive with them on, and they're like
No,
I feel like they're like
pictures
ruining my
only.
eyes. Yeah, pictures only. So I would say
Okay,
these
those are
shades.
cute.
Thank you.
Fun. Very,
Uh,
very confidence building, I would say.
yeah, yeah, confidence building, and also like just insane looking to me, like
Yeah,
driving around. So yeah,
I
totally.
love it. Oh, I love it. That's so perfect.
What's yours?
What? Oh, something I bought recently?
Is it the water bottle or?
Oh god. No, I didn't buy that. I
Oh
found it in
no.
my work's lost and found.
Really? Oh my
Yeah,
God,
don't
that's
tell
good for
them.
you. I won't tell him. I won't tell.
Excellent. Oh gosh, what have I bought recently? This was kind of fun. My work did like they call it booze, where you like boo someone and you like give them a gift or a treat or something, and then they have to do it for two other
Oh,
people,
cute.
and it like kind of goes around. It's like anonymous or whatever.
Like one of the white elephant gifts or whatever for the
Yeah,
Christmas,
yeah,
but like,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. My job is just really into stuff like that.
That,
So
that's like such like The Office, like an episode of The
yes,
Office or something.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay. So I went shopping for some stuff and Dollar Tree had these like skeletons that were gold or silver and they were like doing yoga positions.
Whoa, those are so cute.
Yeah, I'll have to post a picture. I set one
Yeah,
up because I got myself one too. I was like, wait, this is so fun.
that's cool. And was it only $1?
Oh yeah,
So
$1.25.
everything really is only $1 at Dollar Tree.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's $1.25 now.
Recession or
E-
inflation.
yeah, big time. But
Did the
those
person
were fun.
accept it? Like, did the person that you gave it to? Do you feel like they really got the weight of what a good present that was?
I sure hope so. I'm gonna swing by their office and make sure everything I got for them is out on their desk.
Okay, good. What if it's like in the trash, like doing yoga?
Yeah, literally, it's like hanging on to the edge of the basket. Yeah, those are so fun. But I'll show you a picture of it. It's pretty cute.
Okay, I want to see a picture. Yeah, you're
Okay.
awesome. If you're ever in the LA area, uh, just hit me up, and I'd love to get a cup of coffee with you. And
Yes,
I was
I'll
gonna say
let you
anyone
know.
listening, but that's too many people. So yeah, we'll start with you.
Invitation retracted.
Yeah, totally.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I had a great time.
Thanks for listening. Remember to leave a rating and review, subscribe, and come back next Thursday for a new episode. And remember, you matter and what you have to say matters. So join me here with For the Talkers.